Alrighty, recording on this computer. So I've never done this before, but I'm doing one of those you've seen on YouTube, a reaction video. Because what I've got is, you guys may or may not know, I've got a company that prospects for real estate agents. So we make cold calls, we generate leads, appraisal leads, and opportunities on social media. So what happened was I found out that, one of our most popular phone staff who churns out calls for real estate agents' clients is only 17. And she's actually my Naomi, my partner, her son's partner, girlfriend. She's only like 17 years old, and she has statistically on many, she's like one of our number one appointment setters. She's great, right? She's great because she's so sweet and lovable and all of that. So it really made me think, because when I thought about it, Naomi's son, historically, maybe 8 years ago, who's now a police officer, he worked for us. Naomi's daughter worked for us. My son now works for Tom Carlin, straight out of school. So I put it out to my students, my clients, and all of that. Hey, if you've got a teenager, instead of them working for McDonald's for $15 an hour or whatever, if you think they've got it in them, and they can put up with the, really the nonsense that the real estate industry cops, if they were prospecting, do they want to work for my company? And look, we'll put them through the training, and look, if they don't like it or whatever, no harm, no foul. But if they like it better than, saying, do you want fries for that at McDonald's? So anyway, Dave, one of our friends and colleagues, he sent me through, because he said, oh, look, I've got some kids. I've got a bunch of them. Do you want them all to work for you? So one thing I definitely need to do is I need to vet them, because we can't just have a 15-year-old without training and we have no idea make calls for you. So this is the first time I've ever done what we call a reaction video. So I'll be watching these applications for the first time right along with you. So, because what I sort of thought to myself is, I said to Dave, get the kids to film me sell themselves, like literally, because I just want to see if they get scared behind a camera, if they're nervous, have they got even the ability and the raw materials to say a script in an enthusiastic way for 3 hours at a time. Because again, I tell you, many kids couldn't, but some kids can, because like I said, Theo's partner, Theo's girlfriend, is one of our best. Like literally, she makes calls for me. I get her to call real estate agents. She's that good. And so, I heard it say once, it might have been John McGrath. If you're good enough, you're old enough. So we're going to watch these applications from these kids. I think they're ranging from, single digits all the way up to 19. So we're going to watch them. I'm going to try and maybe go from youngest to highest. So, although I'm only going on a tiny little thumbnail, so I'm just guessing youngest to oldest. And so we're going to watch them. I'm going to watch the video along with you, and then we're going to react and see if any of them cut the mustard. Hey, so let's see how this goes. All right, so we're going to start with Joy.
And who are you?
Joy.
Joy? Is that a name?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, so Dave's doing the young ones interview style. Is he right? Oh, fair enough. You can hear the voice off camera. That's Dave, our client, our colleague.
So what are you doing here?
I don't know.
She doesn't know.
Okay, you goofball. Say bye. Bye.
All right. Well, for charm and charisma, she gets 10 out of 10. She's cute as a button. I'm guessing, I don't know, I've forgotten how to choose, how to sort of guess ages. I'm guessing she'd be 7, 8, or 9, maybe, but nervous as hell, doesn't particularly want to be on camera. So, the jitters got her. But I tell you what, could she be charming? If she could get over the nerves and the jitters, could she be charming? Because that's one of the main things. You've got to be able to build rapport and charisma. You've got to be able to make a call to someone who doesn't want you to call. They don't want to hear from us, right? So you've got to be able to take someone who's like, what do you want? And charm them in seconds. So has she got that likability? Absolutely. But the problem is she'd have to get over her stage fright to be able to engage that charm and likability, that charisma. She'd have to be able to take that. And the person on the other end of the phone also doesn't have the benefit of visuals. So they can't see that she's a cute as a button little girl. She would have to learn how to project that charm and charisma vocally and confidently, but still maintain its sweet and innocence. And if she could go through that work, she could do it. But I haven't really got enough to go on really on that one because she was so nervous. So good try, Dave. But let's move on let's try Jason. I think he's also one of your youngers.
Hi, I'm Jason. I'm 8. And this is my first video.
Okay.
Nerves again.
We have 4 pet guinea pigs. We have 2 babies. And the... ich weiß nicht, was das heißt. The babies drink milk.
Oh, now look at that. Now Joy's all helpful. Oh, now she's all helping. Did we say that was Jason? Yeah, that's Jason. Now Joy's being all helpful now that it's not her under the spotlight, under the gun. So, Jason, I'm feeling you, mate. She had a tough time when she was doing it, but now that the spotlight's on you, Joy's all full of advice. All right.
Yeah, the babies drink milk from the mother. The mother's name is Flecky, and the baby's name is Cookie and Brownie.
Ah, cool.
And the dad is Bärchen.
Okay. And when you grow up, you want to do real estate calls too, right?
Yeah, Mom and Dad just started with real estates. And they have a website for pet clients.
Okay, so it's the Gold Coast.
Cool. And Aaron?
Yeah, he's doing it too.
And Jesse? What is Jesse doing?
Ich weiß nicht. Macht das auch.
Jesse wants to do calls as well. And Colin too. The whole family, hey?
Yeah, and we have fishes too.
And what was that? And where? Let me go back a little bit. What did he say? And someone else too?
And we have fishes too.
Okay. Well, you can say bye, Glenn. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
All right. So once again, very charming and very cute. I didn't get that accent where he said and where Festus too or something. Might be another family name. So because there's Jesse and there's Joy and there's Jason, but I don't think he was saying any of those names. But anyway, so it seems that Dave and Dave's partner and Dave's eldest are definitely getting into real estate. So what I said was, Dave's eldest, I could train him up to go straight into the family business, or if he was currently working at a normal job, maybe making calls for my company could be the normal job. And in doing so, what then would happen is he would be trained up so that whenever he's ready and whenever he's really good enough to show that he can be profitable, which is really from the word go, the minute you can make the call and book appointment, because really the main job of the phone staff is to go through the 40 people who are going to say not interested to get to the one who is marginally interested. And then when we get that marginally interested one, we either book the appointment with Dave, with the main agent, so anyway, that's what we're looking for. And so that'll be Dave's eldest, but we've got but it seems when I asked, because what I asked is film these videos, film an application where you sell yourself. And so it seems when the younger ones saw the older ones doing it, they wanted to have a go as well. And hey, imagine if a 9-year-old, now I don't even know if it's illegal for a 9-year-old to work for us. It's probably not, but I'm sure the 9-year-old could work for the family business. Imagine if a 9-year-old made a cold call. If they could get the script right and they could talk the talk, boy, oh boy, like, I don't know, maybe my team can throw up a kid president video or a early Caleb Maddox speech. Now, have a listen to Kid President, all right? So we'll chuck in a quick kid president video there and you'll see what I mean. He's a very young man, very articulate, amazingly so.
What will you create will make the world awesome? Nothing if you keep sitting there. That's why I'm talking to you today. This is your time. This is my time. It's our time. We can make every day better for each other. If we're all on the same team, let's start acting like it. We got work to do.
And then Caleb Maddox, I first met Caleb when he was 14, but it was a video I saw of Caleb when he was maybe 11 or 12 that really got my attention and literally got me to write a check to a 14-year-old for $11,000 to get him to come and speak at one of my conferences. Have a quick listen to this Caleb Maddox video when he was young.
I'm here to give people motivation, inspiration, and education to live the life of their dreams.
So you see what I'm saying? So if you're good enough, you're old enough. So who knows if one of the youngsters maybe really takes this by the scruff of the neck, learns the scripts that I gave them. You never know. They might be young Joy might be the best cold caller ever. Although I probably won't be able to employ her. I think the age limit in Australia might be 14. I may be wrong, but she can work for the family business, Dave. All right, let's get to it. Who did we do just then? I think we did young Jason. So yeah, feedback on Jason. Okay, so he was mainly just talking about the guinea pigs and things, but he's got an understanding that the family's getting into real estate. And so, so good job. But yeah, what we would need to do is we need to get him to learn the words and learn the script and be able, because what I asked is sell himself. And it seems he was trying to sell us the guinea pigs more than he was selling us his own talent and his own skills. So good job, Jason. Definitely all the charm and all the charisma is there. All the likability is there. Definitely. What we would need is, learning some magic words of whatever that is you're selling. In this case, you'd be just giving a gift to a consumer. If we're talking about the calls that my telephone staff make, they're not out there actually selling anything. They're actually just saying, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Consumer, would you like an update on the value of your home? But the problem is our industry has offered that to consumers, to homeowners so many times. It's no longer seen as a valuable gift in the eyes of those consumers. It's now seen as an interruption that they should be fearful of, because frankly, most homeowners think of the word appraisal as the first step in selling your home, because all the real estate agents who want to sell your home just say, would you like an appraisal? Would you like an appraisal? Would you like an appraisal? That's why the scripts that I'll eventually getting these guys to be learning, because the instructions for this video is just, all right, Dave, get your kids to film me a video selling themselves. They weren't role-playing a real estate script. I just wanted them to sell themselves. So, yeah. So anyway, that's the context of what we're trying to do here. All right. So we've listened to Joy and we've listened to Jason. Let's start with Jesse. I think I'm going upwards in age. So let's go with Jesse's.
Hey, Glenn. My name's Jesse. So I'm turning 14 in 2 weeks. And I was thinking about working at Macca's because my brother also works there. But then my dad told me that I could make $30 an hour for making phone calls for you. And my parents are starting real estate, just like my older brother, and I'm not old enough to get a license. But I could do this instead. So what I'm trying to tell you is that I really want to do this, so later in life, when I'm like 18, I already know what to do instead.
All right, a few edits there, Jesse. So one thing I would say is if you did those edits, not bad. At 13 years old, showing some basic video editing skills where, okay, they weren't too smooth. In fact, the lighting changed. So I don't know if that was literally, hours in between takes, or it might have just been you moved a little bit and the lighting kind of changed. But but you're right. Working at Macca's is going to be about half of the. Now, I don't know if we're allowed to pay you $30 an hour, but again, we'll be paying you way more than we'll be paying Macca's. Certainly, if you're 14, it might not be 30 an hour. I don't know, but maybe we can work on it. I don't know, because eventually you'll be working for the family business, so that negotiation will go between you and mum and dad. But so far, so good. Now you've got some work ahead of you, big time. All right, because you're talking like a normal 13-year-old. Understandable. So this video, was wanting you to sell yourself, and really what you've said to me now, and I'm being serious now when I say what you've said to me now is, again, let me watch it again. I don't want to cut your. I don't want to sell. My initial response was, I needed more enthusiasm, because if I'm getting, and the gist of it, this is through one watch. First time I watched it was when you were watching me watch it. Was you're a bit flat. And you're a bit unenthusiastic, maybe because of the nerves of looking at the camera. And you kind of, here's the impression I got, and I don't want this to be an insult. Yeah, okay, I'm about to turn 14 and my friends and me work at Macca's, and my dad told me I could work for you for $30 an hour and that'd be good for my career. Or I think you're about to finish off and say it'd be helpful in your future real estate career. So I'm gonna watch it again though, because I don't want to judge you harshly if I've misinterpreted my first viewing. So let me go back.
Hey Glenn, my name's Jesse. So I'm turning 14 in 2 weeks, and I was thinking about working at Macca's because my brother also works there. But then my dad told me that I could make $30 an hour for making phone calls for you. And my parents are starting real estate, just like my older brother, and I'm not old enough to get a license, but I could do this instead. So what I'm trying to tell you is that I really want to do this, so later in life, when I'm like 18, I already know what to do and stuff. So it's going to be pretty epic.
The last bit was the coolest. You were saying it's going to be epic, right? You need to tell your tone of voice that you believe it. Your words said it's going to be epic. Your tone said, oh yeah, you know what I mean? And look, I understand you're not a performer. I get it. First time maybe you've ever filmed a video like that. A lesson I was taught when I was first got into real estate was enthusiasm. And it seems the root words and, from that, and they didn't teach me in English. I actually learned this in a sales course. So I don't even know if it's true. But I'm told that the root of the word enthusiasm is 2 words, entheos, E-N-T-H-I-O-S, entheos, which means godlike or the God within or something. But it's something like, it's like God created stuff. So enthusiasm creates believability. That's where I'm told the root comes from. And so if you say something enthusiastically with conviction and belief and enthusiasm, it makes it more believable. And so that's what I would say is, if you're going to sell yourself on an opportunity, you need to inject it with enthusiasm, with life, with belief. And here's what you need to do. You need to learn your script, because I noticed you're editing. So what you did, or I assume what you did, is you said all these things, and then Dave said, yeah, no, that's horrible. Just say, and I could work for you instead, or whatever the edits were where you tweak your wording. And that's fine, right? Using the editing room can be a powerful thing in marketing, of course. Not everyone's going to be a one-take master like myself that does a half-hour video, or one-take no edits or whatever. But so you don't have to be a one-take master, but you have to make your edited videos look like they are a one-take master by enthusiasm, by making the edits and the cuts at the right way. If there is no way to make that cut, you might insert some sort of thing. Like, imagine you were going to make a cut here and you made a mistake. And then you said, but mistakes happen. Boom. Insert a mistake video that just says mistakes happen. That's, even if it's a graphic, and then it cuts right back to me. And now you don't know that wasn't a seamless sequence where there was actually a cut and an edit. So, all right. So Jesse, what I would say is, if you were going to go down this path, now I'm starting to get serious now, because you turn 14 in a couple of weeks. So if 14 is the age limit that we can employ you, then this isn't just hypothetical like it might be for Joy and Jason. There's genuine advice. Refilm the video, that you sell yourself, not only in what you want to do and why it's important and all of that, for your reasons, because it is important for you to get this job so that you can, for the next 4 years, perfect it, so that when you turn 18, if you join the family business, that you got 4 years experience doing the very most important thing that there is in real estate, which is creating opportunities for an agent to go and meet homeowners. So you are setting yourself up for success. But one of the fundamental principles of influence, persuasion, sales, selling, whatever it is WIIFM. They said to me in one of these trainings that I did, you've got to tune all of your language into the radio station WIIFM. For us oldies, we know what that means. But for you young folk, FM used to be the radio dial that we would dial in, the equivalent of our Spotify playlist. Anyway, I'm sure you know what the radio is. All right, WIIFM. What's in it for me? And so, Jesse, you didn't give me anything. What's in it for me, right? So I want you to enthusiastically sell yourself. Why should I want to hire you? Tell me not why it's good for you, because you want to earn more money and be prepared for your real estate career. That's wonderful. Now tell me what's in it for me, all right? Sell me on why you are going to be a great addition and benefit to my company. All right. Good job for the attempt, though, my man. Well done. I would much rather, for your future career, for your earnings short term, but more importantly, like my son works for one of my students, Tom Carlin, and he started getting paid minimum wage for a 17-year-old, and it was very, very low. And I didn't care. it was just award rate, whatever that was. I think it was $28,000 a year when Calvin left school and went to work for Tom Carlin. I think it was $28,000 a year. He's now 20 and he's gotten multiple pay rises. To Tom's credit, well done. Tom could have been keeping him on minimum wage, but to Tom's credit, he's now earning maybe triple what he started on, maybe a little bit more what he started on, because he added value to Tom's company. But I didn't care what Calvin was getting paid for the first year, for the first 2 years. He's only 3 or 4 years in now working for Tom. And who cares what he's getting paid? Because he's learning the skills of running a multi-million dollar business. That's the real payoff for you. So, so Jesse, yeah, get back to it. I know what's in it for you. More money, and you're preparing yourself for your career. Now, what's in it for me? Sell me on why you're going to be awesome for my company. All right. Who we got now? Colin. I think Colin might be the next one up in age.
Hey Glenn, I'm just going to start off by saying this is first time clicking on record, so
well done, man.
I'm just going to see how it goes. I was going to maybe try and edit it and cut the video, but I feel like what you wanted was more of a raw, like what I am starting off, so I'm just going to keep it as one video. Good. Just keeping any stuttering or anything that I have, because you can't really edit calls, can you?
I like
You'll be able to talk consistently.
So the first 24 seconds, I agree 100% with you, young man. Who was it? It was Colin. Well done, man. That's exactly what I want. For the purposes of this, it shows me real, it shows me raw, it shows me human, authentic. Well, at least that's your intent. Let's see if it does. But I agree. What Jesse did was show me that he's got some editing chops, but you can sort of see it did lose that rawness, that humanity. Maybe you watched Jesse's and you thought, yeah, I don't want to do that. I want to leave mine intact. So very cool.
Gonna keep it as one video. Just keeping any stuttering or anything that I have, because you can't really edit calls, can you? You'll be able to talk consistently. So I'm just gonna start off by saying a couple things about me. I'm 16. I turn 17 next month. Really excited because I get to get my piece.
Next month. Okay.
I'm second oldest child in the Rummel family. I'm studying residential drafting with TAFE at the moment, which I finish in September. I work at Macca's. I've been working there for about 2 years now, so I'm pretty good with social interactions and all that.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm actually a crew trainer at Macca's, so
all right, so a crew trainer at Macca's. So my son, my middle son, my middle child, my youngest son, he's now 16, just got his learners, and he worked about a year at Macca's. So I certainly know they put you through the ringer of training, and that's the good thing. And I just caught then when I pushed pause, he's a crew trainer. So it shows not only can he do the job, but he can show other people how to do the job. And at a young age of 16, not bad, real cool. So, so he's got the ability to learn a system. He's got the confidence to do a raw one-take video, warts and all. And it's his first time ever pushing record on a phone. Colin, I'm so far real impressed. And you haven't even sort of done anything, but you can see that the attributes. So this is some advice for Jesse almost. Jesse, see how I was impressed by Colin's bravery to push pause, show me that he was willing to put himself out there, warts and all, in one take. And then he started telling me about his resume, that he's been at Macca's, and he's about to tell me about a crew trainer. Now, if he can swing, I've been a crew trainer, if he can throw so what that means for you is, then boy, oh boy, that's going to be amazing. Because that's what you want to do. State the feature, if you want to say that. It's a feature and benefit discussion. State the feature, i.e. I worked for McDonald's and then I became a crew trainer. Then how is that a benefit to me? So what that means for you is, if you show me a system, not only will I work my butt off to perfect it, but I'll be able to show other people how to do it as well in a replicatable, a duplicatable system that'll, now, I know you won't be using those words, mate, but that is what a feature will be as a benefit to me, So, the phone I'm looking at here, okay, it's a phone. But what that means for you is you'll be able to communicate with all your friends in a way that you'll be able to send multimedia video to them via all of the various apps on there. It's like a phone, a fax, a computer, a video camera, an audio microphone, a library, and the entirety of human knowledge all wrapped up in a thing that you can hold in the palm of your hand. Like that's You know, the feature is it's a phone. The benefit is, look what it can do for you. It can replace all of these gadgets with this one convenient, you know, 4 square inch gadget kind of thing. But anyway, so far so good, Colin. I'm very impressed. Let me go back a few seconds, 51-second mark.
For about 2 years now, so I'm pretty good with social interactions and all that. I'm actually a crew trainer at Macca's, so I train crew. That's my job there. So I got to be able to explain things pretty well to them and stuff. Yeah, that's basically it. And then I did a little bit of math with my free time as well. If I work 30 hours a week at Macca's, sleep 9 hours a day, then I get 75 hours of free time in a week. And if I devote 25 to studying, 25 to hanging out with friends, then I've still got 25 hours left to make calls. I know I said I was going to make it one video, but I kind of freaked out.
He got an edit. he chucked in one edit there when he freaked out, when he started breaking down the maths of, and now if he did that maths in his head, it's not bad. I can't even figure out the maths, but is he right? I don't know, maybe you guys can figure out the maths that he's got. He's going to stay working for Macca's, and he's going to still hang with his friends. He's still going to study, and he's going to make calls. So you know what? He hasn't got time. I'm up to 1 minute 32. So he hasn't got time to tell me what that means for me is, but I can make the leap myself that if he's got that sort of work ethic and planning and attention to detail, that he can segment his time into, all right, I got 70 hours Macca's, I got 25 hours friends and social interact. Like he's got everything on a schedule like that. And if he even thinks like that, if he can execute that level of discipline into his world, then boy, oh boy, that's impressive, because my teenage years were not spent thinking and talking and communicating like I've got the hiccups. Jesus, these aren't edits. This is me hiccuping. Yeah, like Colin, my teenage years were spent as soon as I was of legal age. I was drinking too much bourbon and just, you know, going to pubs and listening to bands, and, you know, certainly not breaking up my time as efficiently as Colin is describing. So very impressive, my man. Let me just go back a few seconds. 1 minute 25
left to make calls. I know I said I was going to make it one video, but I kind of freaked out and clicked stop video, so I'm just going to say it now. Thanks for taking the time to watch this. I'd love to hear back from you, and yeah, talk then.
All right, cool. So he thanked me, and so here's my take on Colin. Great deep voice, like for a 16-year-old, amazing, right? So on the phones, he will not be detectable as a kid. What that also means, Bart, is you're going to have to be better than your childlike siblings. See, if they were going to make calls, it'd be easier for them, because honestly, the consumers at the other end of the phone are not friendly to adults. So we have to develop a thicker skin when we're making calls. I'm sure that one of the reasons of Morgan's success, which is the 17-year-old we've got, who's one of our #1 callers, is because she's got such a sweet, lovable voice that it's impossible for some consumer to tell her to, you know, F off, let's just say, or go away, or hang up on her, or just be mean. Now, that's not to say she doesn't get the odd person being mean, but statistically it would be less than the ones you're going to get. So the benefit is you're going to be taken more seriously because you've got a nice deep voice. The downside is you're going to be treated like an adult with all the discourtesy that the world treats adults. Two-edged sword there, unfortunately, mate. Now, this first time he ever pushed record, so he's a little bit monotone, a little bit flat. So, Colin, you would have to, you're going to have to enthusiasm it up. It's the same thing as I said to Jesse, was it, about enthusiasm. You're going to have to enthusiasm it up, and just, now you don't have to be bounce off the walls enthusiasm like me, you know, if I'm doing a public speech or something for 1,000 people, but you are going to have to inject your calling style with some energy, just so you can transfer that energy to consumers. But look, you'll figure out your style after 100 calls. And the results will speak for themselves. You never know, a low-key, kind of more introverted, you know what? Brian Tracy once said, one of the great sales trainers of all time, he once said, you don't have to be a bounce off the walls with enthusiasm, but you need to have like a constrained enthusiasm. It's like you're really, really enthusiastic, but you're holding it in. You know, that's how the introvert needs to display their enthusiasm. An introvert, you're not going to get them to get on the phones or go to a presentation, go, hi, how you doing? All that nonsense that us extroverts might do. But you've got to develop, again, what Brian Tracy calls a constrained enthusiasm. So you want to be bursting with enthusiasm inside, and then somehow have your tone show that you're enthusiastic as hell, but you're just trying to contain yourself. So yeah, you're gonna have to figure out maybe how to do that. But mate, all in all, you would certainly get a start and an interview with my team based on everything you just said. So very, very cool. All right, let's talk about Aaron. Aaron is already made the decision to get into real estate, so he's the oldest. So let's see how long this video is. All right, this video is 3 minutes, so let's start it and see how Aaron, how Aaron's going to go. So I think Aaron's 19 from what Dave told me, because this was the first one that Dave asked me about. And I said, I get him from a video selling himself, and then one thing led to 5. So let's go from here.
Hey Glenn, my name's Aaron, and I just wanted to quickly introduce myself. I'm filming this video outside instead of inside because I feel like this gives a much nicer feel to it. As you can see, I have a wonderful pool in the background, and then the wonderful, beautiful sky in the background. Good quality as well.
Camera too.
So I wanted to film this video outside because it's a much nicer scenery, and I just love being outside, you know, because you got the sun and it's beautiful. Summer's just passing now, but besides all of that, I want to talk a little bit about myself as well so that you can get to know me a little bit through this video. So as you can tell, I'm very enthusiastic and I love talking to people.
Yep, certainly Colin got the introvert and Aaron here got the extrovert. So he is. Now the challenge with that is so far, and look, I did say sell yourself. So I did say I want you to talk all about yourself, which is fine. That is what I wanted. So it isn't a critique. But what I would say is when you're filming videos, here's what I like. You're able to film a video, one take. You're looking at the camera. You're moving, you're moving your camera around. You're showing me the background. You're doing a lot of things right. You're going to have to, when you do this in the future, be able to get to the point as to why the consumers, I was said in copywriting, most things when you look about the I and the me ratio versus you and your, the amount of times you say I, me or mine versus you or your, like talking to your reader, where it's all about the reader. It's all about the viewer. It's all about them. You want to get to that, even though I know this is not a critique because I said, tell me about you, sell yourself to me. So you are doing what's right, but you will have to cut to the chase and get to the point for future marketing messages, whether they are video or sales letters or emails or flyers and brochures. You got to really cut to the chase as to why that consumer should take some of their time to listen to or read or watch your marketing message, your influence and persuasion device, which is, a video, a sales letter, a flyer, a brochure, an audio message, a voicemail, a voice note on WhatsApp, a direct message on social media, etc. All right, let's get back to it. 43-second mark.
I also love just helping people in general. I feel like I can be a very giving person. I love being there for people when they need me. I love, like I said, helping people and talking to people. And I'm always on my phone, like texting or doing something like that, because I don't know, there's just something about it that just really, I feel like it attracts me. And like I said, I've heard.
Right, so I'm at the 1:05 mark. Just one thing that's concerning with the next generation, really. I've got a mouse pad that was my rebuttal to this thing. And the mouse pad, I don't have one on me, but it says, click from place to place, but never forget face-to-face. Now, I got that from one of my mentors, and my eternal thanks to Joel for giving me that, Joel Bauer, who gave me that saying. I think it was word for word, or if not, that was the point. Yes, we need to do some things on the computer, but and in fact, Louisa will be able to, if I'm sure she's already done it, my team who's editing this will be able to put in that mouse pad. Yes, we need to do things on the computer, like you just said, texting, voicemail, like electronic means of communication. It's the world we live in now. But never forget the human face-to-face. Whatever job you're going to be doing in real estate, you are not like I'm going to show you this meme. I am going to get Louisa to put this up. Do you remember that thing in Friends when Phoebe is trying to teach Joey? In fact, let me cut in the Friends thing. Phoebe's trying to teach Joey to say some stuff in another language, I think. And so let me cut in that.
Je m'appelle Claude. Je te call blue.
No! Okay, maybe if we just break it down. Okay, let's try it one syllable at a time. Okay, so repeat after me. Je m'appelle.
Pelle.
Great. Okay, faster. Je m'appelle.
Pelle.
Je m'appelle.
Me poo-poo.
So you saw the Friends thing. I saw a meme where it's, and here's the meme, right? And I'm not looking at it, but I'm going to get my team to put it in there. It's make. And so Joey says the make, the, Phoebe says calls, make the calls, send an email. Because agents, humans are so not wanting to talk to other humans, they would rather send a text and send an email. Why? Because it's just easier to not interact with humans. But the problem is you have no ability, or you have very limited ability to influence and persuade if you aren't either on the phone or face-to-face to them. You certainly have more ability to influence and persuade, making the call, not sending the email. But how funny is that thing with the Phoebe and the Joey meme? That was hilarious when I saw that. I thought that is so perfect. And as a fan of Friends, and now my daughter is a fan of Friends as well. So I've had to watch the whole thing again through my daughter's eyes when she'll be sitting there in the background and watching that again. So anyway, all that just from that first comment you made about how much you enjoy sending a text or whatever. Just a first little, what's the word? First little red flag, let's say. Don't forget face-to-face. Click from place to place, but don't forget face-to-face. All right, let's get back to the next. Back to the 59 second mark.
I don't know. There's just something about it that just really, I feel like it attracts me. And like I said, I've heard that you've been talking to my dad a little bit about my family and I wanting to start, a real estate business and work as a team of 3 agents together. So I heard him talking about as well that you are offering for teenagers, instead of working at McDonald's, so that they can come and call for you and other agents and, do some of the calls for you, because I know you have other things that you're probably doing. But I think that this would be an amazing opportunity for me to learn to be better at cold calling, and it helps you out, it helps the agents out, and it helps me out because I get experience and learning, and I just get to talk to people and, have a good time. Everybody wins. It's like a win-win situation.
Like that. See how he's gone down the win-win path? He said, what's in it? Okay, sure. It's good for me, but it's good for you because you've got better things to be doing. Good for the agents. It's good for everyone. That's starting to get the point, the what's in it for me. So very cool.
Hopefully this tells you a little bit about myself. I would love to hop on a call with you or meet you in person. Funny thing, actually, I'm going to the Agents AI
have a good time, you poor deluded soul. Oh my goodness. As someone who has made thousands of cold calls, I hope you can maintain that enthusiasm, that you're going to have a good time, because many of us, myself included, the reason I am not a successful multi-million-dollar listing and selling real estate agent to this day is the fact that I did not have a good time when doing what you're about to be doing. And so there's a book by the great Larry Winget called Work for a Reason. And so, yes, whilst this may be a better long-term prospect for you and your real estate career to be doing this rather than working at Macca's or whatever the case may be, but boy, oh boy, will there be times when this is the furthest thing from a good time that you could possibly imagine. But again, Larry said it, it's called Work for a Reason. Let's get back to it from the 1 minute 55 mark.
So hopefully this tells you a little bit about myself. I would love to hop on a call with you or meet you in person. Funny thing, actually, I'm going to the Agents AI in Surfers Paradise, I believe, on the 23rd, 22nd, 24th. 2 of those days. I'm pretty sure 23rd and 24th. But I heard you want...
Yeah, David did ask me about that. I'm not going to be at that event. Too busy running my own events, planning my own events and stuff like that. So, go to that thing. Although I do have my own opinions on AI and the future of how that can be working for real estate. I've been doing some early testing. I've been running some ads where I write my copy for the ads. And then I have ChatGPT write some copy for the ads. We keep everything else the same. And we're testing me versus the robot. And at this early stage of ChatGPT's, what's the word? Life, if you want to call it that, I'm outpulling it by factors of 2 times, 6 times, 8 to 1 was my most successful thing, where I got 8 times the result. That's 800%. My skill set in communicating and writing conversational copy was 800% better than ChatGPT's. So I've certainly got my own opinions about these early stages of AI and writing and all of that sort of thing. And whilst I'm thoroughly impressed by what it's able to be done, I'm very cautious. I can already see real estate agents' ads that have got ChatGPT. You just know that it was written by a robot. And instantly, my ability to connect with that copy goes through the floor. So go and learn whatever you want to learn. Happy days. But make sure you and I are talking on the weekly trainings with your dad that that sort of says, all right, that's interesting, but we ain't going down the have AI write our ad copy path anytime soon. So, but if what you're alluding to is we're going to catch up face to face, I'm not going to be on the Gold Coast on that weekend.
I heard you're one of the speakers, so I'll definitely see you there and hopefully come up and talk to you a little bit if I get the chance to, if you're not too busy. But yeah, I hope you have an awesome rest of your day, but this is me. I just wanted to add at the end of this video how grateful I am for the fact that you sent me some of the training, because it's really going to help me learn a lot more and improve myself as a person and in real estate and make the whole community better, you know. Just want to spread good vibes and, you know, make sure real estate stays a positive space and that people actually like agents, because most people don't for some reason, because they're just hounding and they do it the whole wrong way. There's much better ways to do it, and I think you have one of the greatest ways of doing that.
Oh man, thank you for that. And look, that last little bit, I get he's certainly expressing some gratitude. I would suggest, okay, so one of the books I would suggest to you is The Thank You Economy by Gary Vaynerchuk. Great book. I've actually got my son reading it right now. Great book. And yes, you'll be able to have real estate be a more positive space around you. I would suggest, and look, here's my challenge. I'm happy to be proven wrong. If you are able to build a real estate company that is able to, at a company-wide level, start to have an impact on the consumers where they don't think that all real estate agents are scumbags. I happen to have the opinion that that's impossible, because that real estate agents are, I don't know if you saw, Channel 9 did a thing late last year where we're now the least liked and the least trusted profession of all professions. Like, we used to be down in the bottom few, but politicians would be down a little bit less trustworthy than us. Car salesmen would be a bit less trustworthy than us, you know, stuff like that. Now we're the bottom. Number 1, least liked, least trusted, and all of that, according to this Channel 9 survey. I don't think anything any one of us are going to do to change that. And I don't think there's enough of us to en masse make that change to the entire community. But now, don't think I'm a naysayer and a gloom and doom and gloomer.
Ignore the naysayers.
That doesn't mean that you can't be the single exception to the rule in the mind of those consumers. Let me give you an example. I don't think, imagine we're at a backyard barbecue, and not we, some members of the public are at a backyard barbecue, and there's a for sale sign out the front, right? So the homeowner is selling, but they're having a party with some friends, and they've had a few to drink, let's just say. So they're speaking very honestly with each other. And they, one of the guests asked the homeowner, hey, how's the sale going? I noticed, you know, you got a sale sign out the front, you're selling up, how's it going? And then the agent goes, oh, haven't heard from the agent, and I don't know, I actually don't know. Because one of the biggest pieces of feedback our industry gets in criticism is that they haven't heard from their agent enough. That's when they're a seller. The criticism when they're not a seller is they hear from real estate agents too often, right? But the number 1 critique when they are a client is they haven't heard from their agent enough. So anyway, so say the homeowner though says to this guest, yeah, the agent, I haven't heard from them, I don't know, they're all idiots. And then the guest says, yep, they're all idiots, right? And they have a little whinge session about real estate agents. You're never going to have that guest say, yeah, I know they're all idiots, but you've got to call a insert your brand here. You've got to call a Ray White agent, or you've got to call a Harcourt's agent, or an LJ Hooker agent, or what, name your brand. It doesn't matter what the brand is. It's my opinion that you're never going to have the exception to the rule. Oh, yeah, they are all idiots, but accept those Century 21 agents. They're amazing. Or accept those Harcourt's agents. They're amazing. Name your brand. I don't think you're ever going to have a consumer have an entire company as the exception to the rule. However, you can make you be the exception to the rule. Yes, they are all idiots. Yeah, I know, but you should have called my guy, Tom Carlin, you know, your name, Aaron. You can be the personal brand exception to the rule. Yeah, I know they're all idiots, but my guy, Matt Steinway, oh, but my girl, Vivian Yap, my girl, Naomi Twyford, the personal brand can be the exception to the rule in the minds of every one of those consumers, because you have to build that personal relationship, or at least that perceived personal relationship. Because think about this, we've never met. Yeah, I've never met Dave. We've spoken on the phone a bunch. We've never met ever. We've never even spoken. We've never done anything, but I bet you feel like we know each other a little bit because of the manner with which you've seen me do my marketing materials, including this video. We're still not talking face to face, even though I'm watching your thing. And yet I've now got a reputation in your mind of something, you know, we feel like we know each other a little bit. And so that's the sort of thing you're going to do to thousands of people in your community. You're going to meet them once or twice, and then your marketing is going to have them feel like they know you. And so, yeah, all I'm sort of saying there is, with all, I don't want to dampen anyone's parade either. Man, if you can change the industry and change this industry's reputation, it'll be a lifelong mission, and I'll be the biggest cheerleader until the day I die, trying to help you and encourage you to get there. But it is my opinion, start with you. You become the one that is the exception to the rule in those consumers' minds in your area. Help the family business get to all, as individuals do that. I know Mum wants to get and be part of this business in a very, very hands-on and practical way as well. In fact, she's probably going to be the lead agent, from my understanding in discussions with Dave, for the family business. So it's not even really going to be Dad. It's going to be more Mum. So I'm understanding in the discussions we've had. So yeah, that's all I would say is, but man, without me, don't let grumpy old Glenn, it's like Arnold Schwarzenegger's first rule of success. Let me cut to that. Arnold, tell us what the rule number one is.
So my first rule is, let me go right to it. This is follow your vision. Have a vision and follow it.
There you go. There's my man, Arnold. That was him speaking at my event. Like, literally, you can't listen to anyone tell you it can't be done. Because if you'd have told me when I was your age that the guy you idolized, because at your age, I idolized Arnold Schwarzenegger, idolized him. And now I've done business with him half a dozen times. I've personally brought him out to Australia a couple of times. I've worked out with him at his own gym. I've been at his home and, smoked cigars with him, and I don't even smoke. Drank bourbon with him, just met his family, had breakfast with him and his daughter. So dreams come true, man. So don't listen to the naysayers, even though I'm sort of saying that your dream and your vision, believe me, it's a tough one. It's a big one. But here's the thing, make that dream happen. Wonderful. If it's important to you, do it. But the thing that'll be critical for you to do in your real estate career is, at the very least, you need you as an individual to be the exception to that rule in those consumers' minds, so that at that hypothetical backyard barbecue, they pull out your business card and they say, yeah, I know all real estate agents are idiots, but here, there's Aaron, there's my guy, give him a call. He's the opposite of what you're describing. All right. That's that. My first ever reaction video. How did I do? It was probably a bit long-winded. I probably talked a bit too much, because I've seen some of those reaction videos and they're mainly just watching the video. So anyway, that might be helpful, informative, a little bit of feedback there. Take all of that with a grain of salt. This is just my first watching of the video of, in some cases they were your first video. So I'm sure my interpretation of what you said is just surface level. It's just the first pass. And your saying of whatever words you say may not accurately represent who you are at your fundamental core. So everything that we've just talked about is with a grain of salt. And steps from here, if you are wanting to apply genuinely after hearing what I've got to say, and you still want to go forth and maybe apply and work for us potentially, the steps for here will be to take everything that we've talked about and then go through my formal training to learn the scripts that we will have you saying on behalf of real estate agents, whether that's for your guys' family or whether that's for other agencies around the country. And then before we let you loose anywhere near any of our clients that want you to be making calls on their behalf, we'll be role playing with you. My staff will be putting you through like a boot camp. Then they'll be giving you some calls to make for clients that are wanting to experiment, wanting to play where the pressure isn't on as much. Sometimes I even have people who are prospectively going to make calls for us, make calls to my clients and my prospects, just to make sure that you are first notch and world class before we let you loose on our paying clients who are paying good money to have their prospecting done for them. So we make sure that you are absolutely top notch before we let you anywhere near those clients' businesses. So, all right, there's my first reaction video. Hope that was helpful, not only for you guys, but for anyone else who's watching as well. All right, until next time, guys, bye for now.